This has got to be the craziest video I'm going to make this year about Albion Online. Let's jump into it. I got some thoughts. And those thoughts are, what in the world is coming with this game? Because let me just let you in on something. Welcome to the Antiquarian's Den. What is the Antiquarian's Den, you might ask? It's an instance safe zone within any city, right? We go on the map. Let's just pull her up here. Any of these cities. This city, here, here. All the cities, right? I'm pretty sure that Carleon has one as well. And so what you can do in this Antiquarian's Den is you can queue into full loot PvP content in the form of corrupted dungeons of all tiers. Without having to go out into the open world, there is no danger here. You roll in here, you can play corrupted, you can play hunter, stalker, or slayer level corrupted dungeons of all tiers. No open world searches for these dungeons anymore. This is all, I assume, focused on the new player, of which, reading some of the Steam forum posts lately, the new players of this game are a bit wimpy. They would not survive the Albion Online that I started in 2019. And the only head holding we got was PoE. And if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. But nowadays, it seems like the Albion Online developers are wanting to hold our hands. Don't get me wrong. I love this update. It's nice. I can roll in here, queue up for a corrupted dungeon. I can go over here and queue up for a Hellgate. But wait a minute. Let's look at these Hellgates, because they're not normal Hellgates, are they? So, we have here, for the first time ever, orange zones in Albion Online. You might be thinking, well, I know what yellow zones are, and blue, and red, and black. What in the world are orange zones? And so an orange zone is a PvP zone where you just lose your inventory when you die. You don't lose your gear anymore. So, you might be thinking, okay, what's the point? Because if I'm going to queue into a lethal Hellgate where I die, why wouldn't I just queue into a non-lethal Hellgate? And say, well, I don't know. Maybe you just want to have the PvP experience, maybe you want the death, maybe you want the kill fame, whatever. But wait, what about true black zone lethal Hellgates? How can that content survive and thrive when we can just queue into a Hellgate at any time from the royal cities without any danger? We get our group together, our 2-man group or 5-man group, we queue into an orange Hellgate, and it's all hunky-dory. We don't need to go and get a Hellgate map and travel across, most of the time, at least 3 black zones, right? If you get a map and you open it here, most of the time your Hellgate's going to open like here, it's going to open over here, or, wherever it might be, 3 or 4 zones away from you. You're going to have to look for a Hellgate, right? It's not just going to pop up immediately. Same used to be for corrupted dungeons. It took a long time, a lot of times, to find corrupted dungeons. Nowadays, you roll into your portal city. You go into the Antiquarian's Den. In the case of Bridgewatch, I'll show you where it is. It is just simply over here next to the Outland portal area. And you roll in here, you queue up, and that's it. Where is this game headed? Here's your little Antiquarian's Den. I don't know how I feel about this update. I like it. I like the fact that I can queue into things from Bridgewatch. That is nice. And only reason that is nice is because I don't have to ride around for 15 minutes to find a corrupted dungeon portal. What I don't like is that it encourages people to never touch this massive open world. Why would you go here? Sure, you can fame farm here. Well, it takes you, what, a day at most to fame farm enough to use whatever your preferred weapon is? And if you want to use something like the Nature Staff with a decent build or whatever, less than a day, and you're fame farmed up. You can, in 3 days premium time from the time of creating your new character, getting your 3 days premium, you can be fame farmed up to the point that you never again go into the black zone. Unless you join a guild and fight for territories. But what incentive do I have as a solo player to go here now? I don't. Albion has this huge world. I mean, it's huge. Look at this. This is a whole continent of PvP zones, black zones, that I have no point in going to. Why do I need to go here? because I can queue up for group PvP in town. I can queue up for small scale PvP in town. I can queue up for solo PvP in town. If I want to go fight in Zergs, I go to the yellow zones and fight in faction warfare. I never have to get out of the safety and the comfort zone again. Sandbox Interactive is holding our hands as players. And I just don't know how I feel about it. What about the depths? Let's talk about the depths. So the depths has orange zones, again, semi-lethal, right? You got duos and trios. You can absolutely go here as a solo player. Queue in solo, go get your loot, kill your boss, fight with people, whatever, and get out. I have done that. So what scares me, the whole point of this video, what terrifies me, I love the quality of life. Don't get me wrong, because let's be honest, this is useless. Party Finder in this game is completely useless. There is not a single party right now in the Party Finder. None. There are thousands of people playing this game right now. Not a single party in the Party Finder. Why is that? It's because it's useless. But we can get our group together. We get our group of guys to go up in the guild. By the way, if you're looking for a guild, join me up there. I'm playing with community members every day, all the time on Albion. Join up. I just purged the guild as I came back to the game, and we're going to get rolling again, have a good start into the next guild season. Do join up if you're interested. Albion Risen. You can find me in the Guild Finder. I'm on the North American server. But you get your mates together, or even if you're solo, you go here, you do this content. You never have to leave town. You can technically, you can leave the tutorial, come right over here, roll into a hunter level corrupted. What do you need? What's the minimum item power? 700. It just takes no time. Grind in the yellow zone a few minutes, get to 700 item power, roll into corrupted dungeons, and never again leave. You can do yellow zone mist. What I'm saying, the whole point of this is I'm afraid the game is going to die because there's not any reason to take part in the vast majority of the open world of the game. Why would you go to the roads? Why would you go anywhere unless you just feel like farming? There's no point because you can get everything instance from town. And you know what? I'm going to use an example. Everybody's favorite giant MMO, right? What is it? It's World of Warcraft. You know what World of Warcraft has? It has a problem where when you get out in the open world of the game, unless you're in just certain, like, release of expansion right now rolling into that area zones, there's nobody. It doesn't exist. You know where people are? They're in Stormwind. They're in Orgrimmar. They're in all these different places, but they are not out in the open world because they don't have to be. They can just sit and click a button and click another button and queue into whatever their flavor content is. Raids. They can do, you know, Mythic Plus, dungeons. All they have to do is log in, log out, log in, log out. Just like any other multiplayer game. Albion Online has this massive open world that you cannot really fast travel through. You have to traverse across it. If I want to go to Arthur's Rest, which I love Arthur's Rest, it's a nice area. I like the areas around Arthur's Rest. Whitewall Pass is a neat little zone. I really like Arthur's Rest. I have to travel from here to there on my horse. Zone to zone to zone. Dodging players, dodging guilds, people with hideouts here, all these different things. I've traveled zone to zone to zone. Nowadays, I don't have any incentive to go there. I get all the content I need right here in Bridgewatch. I don't have to leave. Or yellow zones. You can play the entire game through Bridgewatch and yellow zones. I don't know what the purpose of the orange zone is other than to try to ease people into PvP, but I thought that was the purpose of knockdown PvP. So I'm struggling here. Help me out in the comments. Maybe you can see something I can't with this. I don't think it's the end. I'm not trying to say the sky's falling. Don't call me Chicken Little. But I'm worried because where do we go from here? How long is it before we just queue into everything in the game and we just do away with the open world? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, catch me on live streams. I don't have a schedule yet. Catch me when I'm live. We'll chat about it sometime. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. And I'll see you in the next video about Albion. Have a great day.